The species and creatures found in the world of Hyrule can totally fascinate me. Just look at something like the stone talus. How in Hylia's name can a rock come to life all of a sudden and attack us while we're just passing by minding our own business? Who knows? But there is one race found in the world that's even extremely civilized that confuses me more because they have done something terrible and they're even bragging about it. I'm talking about the Zora, because the things they have been up to are beyond terrible. Let me explain. Now, the Zoras in Breath of the Wild live in Zora's domain located in Lanayru region of Hyrule. Once there, it's revealed that Vairuta is responsible for some things going wrong there, and Link has to solve it. Now, overall, they are quite weird, but very advanced with an amazing looking village, great technology for managing water, and having amazing weapons. However, when it comes to their creations, there's one that's certainly the most beautiful out of all of them, but also the most horrifying: Zora's Domain. But there are more games with stunning locations, like our sponsor of today, Raid Shadow Legends. For those who don't know, this is a brand new collection RPG game that is taking the mobile gaming landscape by storm. Almost 10 million players worldwide have already downloaded the game in just 3 months, and all the champions in the game look beyond amazing. It has great graphics, strategic gameplay, huge boss fights, an amazing storyline, and over 400 heroes for you to collect and personally customize. Now, my favorite is still my Orc Galak, who has the greatest attacks ever, making him a dream in group fights. Now, to be honest, the game is actually really good, and going through stuff like dungeons and the campaign is actually a lot of fun. So give Raid Shadow Legends a shot by using my link in the description, and if you do so, you even get an amazing reward: 50,000 silver and a free epic champion from the new player rewards system. Then you will get a champion as epic as my Galak, so check it out. But for now, let's continue. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, Zora's Domain. The structure and geography of this place in Breath of the Wild is similar to the one in Ocarina of Time. When entering this place for the first time, you will be stunned by its beauty. The bridge leading to it is even amazing to look at. And then I haven't even mentioned the stairs leading up, the statue in the middle, the gigantic outer circle possibly for protection, or even the gigantic fish statue on top, which shows off its tail in a fascinating way. Clearly they put tons of effort into making their capital something to behold, possibly to impress the Hylian rulers who are their allies. However, there's one thing that stands out a lot when you go there at night. Almost everything you look at glows. This is probably so you can actually navigate it all during the evening, because without it, the place would probably be shrouded in darkness since it's hidden away in the mountains. Now, this is where things start to become really interesting, because the only thing seen in the entire world of Breath of the Wild that gives off such a glow is luminous stones. They can be found in luminous stone deposits throughout Hyrule and are dropped by some stone taluses. They have been used as a light source for centuries. One place where you will see this is in the pitch dark Telapthio ruins, and they are also used for the side quest Luminous Stone Gathering, which can be found in Zora's Domain, and here we learn something interesting that explains the look of the entire place. Because when you talk to Lido, who will give you this quest, he is busy repairing the domain at that moment as part of his training. And if you ask him about these stones, he says the following: luminous stones were part of the raw materials used to build Zora's Domain. In the past, they were often mined from the upland Zorana, which is why Zora's Domain was built here. That's the story anyway. After getting the quest, Link can give him 10 luminous stones in exchange for a diamond, making it a good cash cow. So the entire place is made of this spectacular looking stone, which isn't seen too much, but it made for one amazing capital. It must have taken ages upon ages to build this entire place, and the crazy thing is, the area he mentioned still has luminous stone deposits. However, while it makes this place marvelous, it also has one very grim downside, which could lead to problems. Because the stone's description says the following: this mysterious mineral gives off a pale blue glow in the dark, which some believe to be the souls of the undead. The glow inside the stone is apparently not that natural, but more supernatural. However, this also means that this beautiful city is built on the souls of thousands upon thousands. Almost everything you see is made from luminous stones, which are filled with dead souls. So the next time you look at the pretty lights when night falls, do know that the spirits of the dead light your path. However, how is it even possible that the souls are contained in these stones, And why would the Zoras ever use something so dark and sinister to build an entire city? Can you even imagine finding some sort of Indian burial ground and using the stones and stuff found there to build a house? Sounds like a bad idea to me, but what do I know? However, let's start with our first question. Does the game or anyone explain why spirits are trapped inside them? Well, in the game, it's never really explained why or how this happened. We just know that people think that, so it could also be a myth of sorts. However, that becomes less likely when looking at the effects it has on the armor you can make from it. The Radiant set uses these stones to make it more powerful and give it a better look, and it has a number of strange side effects. You can buy it from the Gerudo Secret Club, and when equipping it, it will grant you lure against the Stealth enemies. All the Stealth Goblins and other undead foes will do is look at you in a strange way and hang out with you. Now the reason why they probably won't even touch you is because you are just like them after all. The entire armor is covered in crushed up luminous stones, giving it this iconic look, but also infusing it with the power of the spirits from the stones, making you undead according to the Stealth enemies. And your attacks are also stronger now when using bone weapons. So we can be quite certain that these stones are connected to the dead in some way at least. Now when I looked into all of this, I could only really find one possible answer to how these souls ended up in rocks. It seems like they attract the dead regardless. As far as we have seen in the entire series, the dead seem to be made of a blue and greenish energy. We see this every time we talk to the dead, the king, any of the divine beast champions, and even the monks in the shrines when they disappear. So could it be that when they die, that this energy stuff goes into these gemstones, being captured and lighting up in the dark? Link can even absorb such energy when granted by the divine beast champions, getting a part of their spirit to perform their special abilities. We even see this spirit come out of Link in order to perform their specials because Link never learned how to do them after all. So it could be that a similar thing happens to these spirits when they come into contact with the luminous gemstones. A lot of people did meet their end when Calamity Ganon destroyed the kingdom, which could explain why there are so many soul-filled luminous stones. It could even be that all of this is connected to the weird flowing energy seen in the trailer for the second Breath of the Wild game. A good friend of mine and fellow Zelda theorist called Zeltec also suggested this, and it does make sense to an extent. We even see a ton of luminous stones in a cave where Link and Zelda presumably find the body of Ganondorf, trapped by the energy that has a similar type of glow. Also, little side note, I've made a bunch of other Breath of the Wild sequel theories like the one on the overall story, and I also have a ton of other normal theories. So click in the upper right corner to check those videos and playlists out. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's continue. Because maybe these rocks are more powerful than we think, and actually serve a different purpose as well. That might be why the Zoras decided to use these to build an entire settlement. It could be that these spirits defend the place in some way. We have even seen one example of this in the game itself. Daruk's protection, which creates a red crystal barrier around Link when used. Now, I will admit that this worked especially well because this was his specific special power. But there must be a reason for using a rare and expensive material for making Zora's domain. So it must be for protection and the light it provides, even though it's not as strong as something like a torch. However, now that I think about it, there could also be another reason. Could it be that the material is just very useful for what they are trying to do? If you look at the location where they built it, you can see tons of waterfalls, which would create extremely strong currents, which could destroy or damage structures. So maybe the luminous stones are strong enough to survive all of this, or remain solid for years upon years. And there's also another amazing advantage. Since it's all made of stone, corrosion is not gonna be a problem, while we couldn't say that about a ton of other materials seen in the game. So that could also be the reason for using this weird material to build it all. But personally, I think there's more to it. It must be something related to these souls inside these gems. Maybe Nintendo will give us more information in the sequel. Also, be sure to check the playlist of my Zelda theories and other recent videos I made in the upper right corner. I made a theory on the overall story of the first and second Breath of the Wild game by only using the very first cutscene seen in the game. I swear to God, it's gonna blow your mind, so check it out. Now, sadly enough, we can't really get an answer here. But for me, Zora's Domain will always remain a beautiful sight to behold, but now it all has a different meaning. Because this ordinary settlement is made out of the souls of the dead, giving it a bright glow and a bit of a creepy vibe. I would compare it to the Great Wall of China, which is also a wonderful creation, but sadly enough also filled with the bones of the workers who met their end making it. And since the Zoras did something similar, who knows what all of this will mean for them in the long run. Hey you there, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the playlists and the videos in the upper right corner and the ones on the screen right now. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell button. Leave a lovely comment and like, and then you make Papa Wily very happy.